Behind me are the Fontein barns, and it is from these barns that the majority of the last 10 years winners of the SANSUI Summer Cup have come. Only Wagner hails from Turffontein, and all the other horses that came from Fontein, including horses like Multemi, Rudra, Illa de Vittoria, Flirtation, Dance with the Devil, Yorker. There's a whole host of horses that have come from this particular training establishment, and between Alec, Laird and Geoff Woodruff, they have 9 of the 20 runners. Of course, Louis the King is the deserved and ruling favourite, having won the Triple Crown in such resounding fashion. But by virtue of the fact that it is a handicap, it's not going to be plain sailing for Geoff Woodruff's inmate with former champion jockey Pierre Stradham aboard. The draw is also very important, and we're going to go across to Turffontein now to find out exactly what happened in the draw and whether it is going to be significant regarding the outcome of the 2014 running of the SANSUI Summer Cup.
We have not had an event like this in South Africa ever before. We have never had a draw function in the stables at Turffontein Racecourse. This is history in the making for South Africa, to have a draw at the stables, to allow for first-time racegoers, first-time media participants, to actually see what it's all about, to be part of the stables, to come to Turffontein, interact with the horse, because they are such wonderful creatures of God. And for someone who's as close to the sport as quite a few of us that are in the stables here today, this makes us pretty much emotional and pretty much passionate about what we do. It's because of these heroes that are in the barn that we are able to continue with the sport in the manner that we do and keep the game going. But of course, the game is not possible, and an event like the Gauteng SANSUI Summer Cup is not possible without a number of people, and naturally those are the sponsors. SANSUI have supported this event since we decided to bring the Summer Cup back, and their renewal thereof in 2009, which was greatly appreciated. So Chris, I want to thank you very much from Pumalela for assisting us in making this successful. Please give Chris a round of applause. Thank him for being here today.
Over many years we've been involved in this event, different companies that's been involved from a Steinhoff perspective. It's a wonderful opportunity for us, because when I look at horse racing and the opportunity that exists from all levels of the market, and we're in a fortunate position that we can cater for that market. At the end of the day, they are customers of ours. They must come into an incredible connection. They must come into Hi-Fi Corporation and buy their products. We understand the diversity of horse racing, and we use this as a major opportunity for us.
Even the horses are thanking you, Chris. You hear that? Baba Khanadiwe from Gauteng Tourism. To him, to Dawn Robertson, MEC of Economic Development, Gauteng and government are backing this event and have for the last few years. They realise the economic factor, the plus factor that such an event can be for the likes of Gauteng and for our city in terms of return of investment in creating jobs and bringing people outside of the city, outside of Gauteng, to come and visit. Larry Weinstein, the CEO of the Racing Association, and all of your owners and members, thank you for continuing to support the sport like you do, and owners that keep putting their hands in their pockets to keep feeding the wonderful animals, keep our trainers, our jockeys and our grooms, all who work very hard, keeping them alive, really. And of course to the patrons, the punters, who continue to come in and have a go at the horses, some just because they enjoy it, others because they make a business of it.
Again, I've got to look at Louis the King being the one to beat. And if you look at the form, that horse, the other horse, As You Like, I think his name is, with Alec Laird, and I'm not just following Alec Laird, I think he's at a nice price and value for money. The filly's not out of a Joe's filly, Athena. I think she's peaking at the right time. She ran a good prep run the other day, and I think she's a bit of a classy filly. And as you know, top fillies have got a good record in this race. So I think As You Like is a nice price, and Athena would be running on, and I think make it between those two. Louis the King, you know, top weight, looks like the best horse in the race, but that's racing.
Most importantly, and I hope I haven't left anybody out, the members of the media, our internal media and our external media. Our internal media some of them have been a part of the game for many, many years. Yes, you may be on the payroll, but it comes with passion and it comes with great commitment that one will do his or her job so much better. For those that are part of the social media, that have been here once before, thank you for coming back. For those that have come for the first time, I hope to see you again very soon, particularly at Gauteng SANSUI Summer Cup. Kojo is with us. He's one of our ambassadors, Kojo Buffo, of the Racing It's a Rush campaign. So Kojo, welcome to you. But the procedure is this. As you know, we're giving away 11 cars on the big day. So we hope that, who knows, maybe one of you will drive away in one of those popular Datsun Goes. One of 11 cars on the day. You just got to be on the racecourse, put your name in the barrel. Hopefully your name comes out of there and you drive away with a brand new vehicle.
The anticipation is mounting as we enter the final stretch to race day in less than 2 weeks' time. On Saturday, the 29th of November, this racecourse will be alive with thoroughbred horse racing, celebrities, fashion shows, South African music acts of the hottest caliber, Mo-Kini sprints. Yes, I did say Mo-Kini sprints for the gentlemen out there who weren't too sure what I just said, and much more. But the best part about it is the fact that they're giving away 11 cars. Too bad I can't get one. I wish I had one. Anyway, everybody needs to don their best hat. Yes, ladies and gents, you need to don your best hat. Hats are in this season, so please do us the honor of donning your best at the SANSUI Summer Cup this year. For all details, please do be sure to check out www.sansuisummercup.co.za.
I think it's wonderful when we have big race days, and especially when it comes to Gauteng, because, you know, Cape Town has the J&B Met, they've got the Queen's Plate, Durban has, of course, the Durban July, and for Gauteng, we have the SANSUI Summer Cup, and I think it's wonderful when you can get the celebrities into it because they make it marketable for the rest of the public, and just from a horse racing perspective and the knowledge that you gain by being involved in it, can be daunting at first, but I've always had a mind for analytics and stats, so I love it. I love that there's so many different elements to it and that you can't actually just predict something like that. You have to go back, do your homework, and even then it might not be enough, but it does add to the excitement. And if I just have to go back and to speak to people who have done it for the first time, gone to horse racing for the first time, placed a bet on one that has been a winner, that excitement is unparalleled.
Just taking a look at her over here, she's got a beautiful deep girth, she's got a wonderful temperament. This whole humdrum hasn't phased her at all today.
Yes, no, fantastic horse. As you can see, as you said, the temperament's world class, and I think that's the reason, one of the main reasons that she is so good, is that she's got the most unbelievable temperament and just a lovely looking filly. I mean, I wouldn't want to change her for any filly in the world at this stage.
Andrew, we're so lucky that we've got the sponsors that we do, and you know, it's tricky getting sponsors on board because the sport is not as well known as it used to be. And through SANSUI and Gauteng and the sub-sponsors that we brought on board, Investec, Hi-Fi Corporation, Tote, the American Tote Company, it's really, that is the vehicle that we're using to drive this day. You know, I wish that all of our days had these sponsorships that we can use to market the sport. But as I said, you know, 5 years down the line, to still have SANSUI on board, we're very fortunate, and they really are not just our clients, they're our sponsors and our partners.
Well, I've come from, my horse background is dressage, so it's very different to coming to a race. I think when you get there, you just get so excited. You start screaming for your number, and you usually, it's all about that. Whereas in dressage, you've got to keep very quiet. So for me, I really enjoy the horse racing because you're actually able to shout and scream and show the animal your support, and they're not skittish horses. And that's the great thing. I mean, these horses are being exposed to music, people dancing, people speaking, and they're still all very chilled. They still want their love and kisses at the end of the day, and it just shows how these racing horses have been exposed and they actually are loved.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you, Gavin Frenzel, with your horse's preparation and your predictions for the race?
I would say that in terms of preparation, I'm 10 out of 10. Predictions for the race, I'm 1 out of 10. If it was easy, we'd all make a hell of a lot of money. And the odds are against us in terms of the weight. But like you say, eventually won it. When they're good, they're good. So yes, predictions 1 out of 10. Preparation 10 out of 10. We'd have to see how the race goes itself.
It's Better Nova with 200 to go with No Worries. Midnight Run. Booklet top on the outside is Louis the King. It's still in front. Better Nova from No Worries. Louis the King is flying up on the outside, but Better Nova has won it. From in second, No Worries. Tight third, Lockheed Jetstar or Louis the King. It's very close, but Better Nova has won it for Chris Kerber, Alec, Laird and Waishong Mawing.
Definitely not the smoothest of movers, but he is definitely one of the most courageous horses, beautifully ridden. And although he has it all to do at the weights, he's the horse that's closest to the top of the weights in the Sansui Summer Cup.
Yeah, Andrew, he's earned his spot in the race. He's picked up a penalty with that win, obviously. So it makes the Summer Cup a little bit harder for him. He's always been just behind those good horses in the classics. As a 3-year-old, he was just behind, just a few lengths off. He ran some cracking races, and as the season went on, he got better. He ran well in Durban, and I'm hoping that he's getting better. It looks like he's getting better. You know, as you say, he's always had an awkward action, at a canter especially. He's got an awkward action, but he's kind of playing the fool. When he gets down to business, he goes straight. He puts his head straight, and he has a go. And he had a bit of a problem with his one jaw, which physio Jane found out and worked on that and stretched his jaw, and he seems to be getting better. He's much better.
Quite incredible. And if you look at the run in Durban, where he was made a warm favourite in that breeders' race, No Worries was absolutely slung in on that particular occasion, and it looks like he's got No Worries beaten on this run.
In the running of the race, he got a clot in the eye that after the race, well, the next day, his eye was completely closed. And he does have a tendency to run to the right, and he got this clot on the right-hand side. In the race, Glenn was trying to push him right, and he wouldn't even go that way. He normally runs that way naturally. So I'm imagining that was the reason that he ran below par.
The horse that you fancied and declared so was Boucle Top for the Charity Mile. He is now impeccably weighted, and he ran an absolute cracker in the Charity Mile.
Yes, he hasn't picked up a penalty, and I'd like to believe his 98 is probably a bit light for him. He's coming into the race off a very good weight of 53, and he's had 2 runs. They've both been good runs. I thought in the mile, had he got more of a clear run, he was a bit crowded. He had every chance, really, but I think he prefers not to be crowded like that. And I think the loose horse made Samanga more nervous than the horse, actually. We aimed him at the mile, but obviously the Summer Cup was also the next mission, and we thought even if we win the mile and get a penalty, he's still good enough. So he didn't win the mile, he hasn't got a penalty, and then he's tip-top. He's had 2 good prep runs, and he's tip-top.
They talk about swings and merry-go-rounds, and the Triple Crown last year was an event which saw you having to play second fiddle, third fiddle, fourth fiddle to this champion racehorse, Louis the King, a deserved champion. You had every chance with him in the Derby. You took him on early. He's just too strong on the day, but the weights very much favour as you like, as he now meets him on very favourable terms in the Sansui Summer Cup.
Yes, as you pointed out, Louis the King, he was king last year. We did our best to beat him, and I mean, if he wasn't there, we would have won all 3 classics, and not just one. We would have come second as well and third. But he deserved a champion, and now he's carrying 59 kilos because he's earned that weight. And straight after the Derby, as you like runs incredible second. He was the line horse. The handicapper decided to make him the line horse, which thrilled me. At that time, I said, well, that means the Summer Cup is the right race for this horse, because he's now still 100, and it's duly worked out that he's still 100. We went to Durban with the July in mind. The horse was a bit tired, and then we made a call to rest him up. And going into this race, I said to Chris, we'll just have one prep run. 4 weeks before the mile one prep. I mean, Louis the King's doing the same thing, one prep run. He's a hot pot favourite. He's had one prep run, but he can't be beaten according to the tipsters. But my horse might need the run. He's having the same prep. I don't understand what that's about. If Louis the King's the horse to beat, then I must fancy my chances with a 5 kilo pull. I think we're in with a shout. I've got 4 runners in the race, and if you had to tell me you can have 3 good draws, 1 bad one, I'd have to say, okay, Earl of Derby will have to take the bad draw, because he's the least fancied of the 4. He's no slouch on his day, as you saw in the Victory Moon. I think he's going to be a very nice 5-year-old. He's always been an immature horse. He's still playing catch up in his physical strength. The funny thing is, off 52 kilos, I thought, we'll take our chance. He's gone up 2 kilos, or he's gone up 1.5 kilos. What did he get? He got 5 points, actually.
5 points, yeah.
He got 5 points. So he's up to 54 kilos. He was going to be under sufferance, I suppose, in the big race. But, he's an honest horse, very honest horse, and we'll just have to ride him with patience and see what he can do.
Both of them acquitted themselves very well in the Daily News, and neither had any luck whatsoever in the July.
But his preparation, besides the fact that he crossed his legs as he came out the gate, are you happy with his prep back home?
Look, he's been working fantastically well, and I've no doubt he would have been right there in the charity mile, had Anton managed to be with him at the time. So, even without a jockey, he still ran a tremendous race. I mean, he literally took all the gaps on the inside, and possibly cost Lockheed Jetstar a place. But it was he himself is doing really, really well. So he's a good horse. He's fit. He's well, and I would imagine that he'll be right there.
All right, on the subject of Lockheed Jetstar, he's next in the pecking order as far as the draw is concerned, and 6 appears to be an absolutely perfect draw for him if he comes out and switches off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only question mark with him, not whether he's good enough, but will he get the trip? I think ridden quietly, he will. He's stopped this messing around pulling now, so he can just pop out, hopefully sit midfield, and with the turn of foot that he's got, I think he can pretty much make it up. Bearing in mind the Charity Mile was his first run since July Day, so he's not a horse that takes any racing to get him fit, and he can only be better now. I actually think he's going to run very well.
He's a real character. I mean, he really is a manly horse, and he really likes to express himself after he's worked and after he's had his morning roll.
Yeah, he does. He's a fresh horse. I mean, if you look at his form, I mean, he's won 7 times from 15 outings. I mean, he's a very, very good horse. He was plagued with injuries as a young horse. He was very soft. He had a knee chip and he had a low suspensory. I really was worried about him for a while, but lately, just super. Lovely and sound, and well, thanks to all the vets. They basically got him through it, and he's there. He's very competitive, virtually wherever he runs now.
Well, a horse that really has blossomed since he's been gelded. You always had very high hopes for him, and he was probably a trifle unlucky in last year's Sansui Summer Cup, and that is, of course, the horse that has just showered himself in glory with a facile victory in the Pinnacle Plate, Master Sabina.
Yeah, he too. I mean, his work this morning was outstanding. He's not a horse that really shows you that much at track, but he's doing it now, and yeah, you know what, they can't all win, but you like to think that they're all going to be competitive. I believe there's very little between him and Louis, and Rake's Chestnut as well. I think they're possibly the best of our 5, those 3. I wouldn't like to have to pick between them, though. I really do believe that 11 draw, that's not bad. For Master Sabina, I think that's possibly an ideal position. Gavin knows him now. Pop out just behind the speed and bide your time. He's turned into a really good horse.
Right, the horse that drew the worst is Kahlua Castle, but in the same breath, you know, from your lips, you said it would be a complete waste for him to have a good draw in his style of running.
Yeah, he does. He always seems to come from the back. You know, he did it last year. He did it very well too. He was just pipped for a short head for fourth. So I think that, you know, he's racing fit. He's properly racing fit. It was very great pity that the Victory Moon was even run actually. I mean, the track was absolutely waterlogged by that time, and I thought under 60 kgs he performed very well. You know, he obviously got tired that last 200. He sort of challenged for the lead, having run wide and coming up the outside. But he's lovely and fit. You know, with Kahlua, you're always going to get a game run, and I just hope he can do something.
On the subject of game, you do know one thing about Louis the King. He is a champion. Whenever he sets foot on a racetrack, he delivers his very best. And his performance in the Charity Mile was not eye-catching, it was eye-popping.
Yeah, I was thrilled. We obviously thought he would run well. You're not going to send a horse like him to the races unfit. That you never do that. And you know, it's just given him that. I think that little tightener up now. He'll be absolutely cherry ripe on the day. And fantastic to have a good draw. Pierre knows him. You know, in my view, I still think he's possibly the one to beat.
Yeah, it is in all probability likely that Pierre Stradham will have reached that significant milestone in his career, having won 5,000 races. If he hasn't, it would be the most incredible fairy story.
Yeah, it would be. You know, don't do a South African cricket thing though. Get to 100 and then start swinging and get out. So I'd just like to. I'd love it for Pierre. You know, I think it's not a monkey on his back. I mean, he's going to get those winners any time soon, sure. Possibly even today. But you know, he's a professional, isn't he? And he's going to treat the Summer Cup like gold, and he's going to want to win it.
Finally, Louis the King, the fact that he is a champion entitles him to carry this weight. He's not the top weight, but pretty close to it. Is he equal to the task of giving these other horses in a handicap the weight that he has to give them and still win?
Yeah, Andrew, I believe so. I think the Charity Mile showed that, you know, that he is capable of doing that. I think the 2,000 is going to be a better trip for him. Now he's got a decent draw. You know, he can be at least in a position where he doesn't have to, you know, make up 12 lengths in the straight. Yeah, Eventual, as a 4-year-old, won the Summer Cup with 60 on his back. Louis got 59.5, so I would say he's as good as Eventual. So, yeah, can he do it? Yes, I think he can.